We are the Nerdaholics.
Hello.
He's Jack.
He's Sean. Okay, we have a direction with this one.
Funnily enough, I know, right? I mean, wonders never cease, and this time it's not about Doctor Who.
Yeah, I know, it's...
Maybe.
Well, you know, it'll piss off our 15 subscribers that we're not talking about Doctor Who this one time.
It won't.
No, it won't. You'll be fine.
Finally, different content. Although we had the Hobbit Jack rewrites. So, I mean, there's something else there as well as the ramblings that we've done previously.
You'll be fine. You're all adults.
Right,
you can
You'll get over it.
So, what we were going to talk about is, well, we started off, we were watching random music videos as we were getting ready for doing this.
Just having something in the background, chilling out, drinking some beers, and we came across, it was a Mortal Kombat video, wasn't it?
Edema doing
Edema,
Immortal.
yeah, that was it, yeah, Immortal, and it really reminded me of a guilty pleasure of mine and yours, I think.
Yeah, it's true.
By Bring Me to Life by Evanescence, because it just had a very similar pattern. And then we thought, hang on a minute. My first memory of this song was
Ben Affleck as
Daredevil. Ben Affleck as Daredevil. Previously, it was, around about the same time it was to a WWE pay-per-view called No Way Out. I think it was 2003, 2002, whatever. But again, I'll save that for my wrestling ranting reviews.
He's doing wrestling ranting reviews.
I might, maybe.
He's promised now.
Oh yeah.
Hold him to account.
Oh yeah, exactly. Hold me to ransom on that one. Oh, got a lot to rant about that. Anyway, and we then thought, I wonder if anyone's done like a supercut on YouTube of like Bring Me to Life, because obviously that is
the famous song.
It's the famous song from Daredevil, and it's part of like a separate music video, blah blah blah. And we thought, I wonder if someone's done like a YouTube video with that in the background to a scene from the
Netflix
version. Lo and behold,
you know the scene we mean.
You know exactly the scene we mean. Indeed, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. If you don't, then fucking go on Netflix and watch it.
Yeah. Just get on with it.
Anyway, get like 3 episodes deep. It's not even that far.
All right. We actually found a
YouTube one, and it was good.
It was very good. The first.
We typed in Daredevil, Evanescence, Netflix,
and it actually came up. So whoever did that video, well done. Excellent.
If we are sober enough to look it up, we will look it up.
We'll put it in here somewhere. We'll put it in our bubble or something like that. So thank you for that.
He's the editor.
Maybe, yeah. Very, very loosely termed editor. Yeah. So then we decided. Oh, actually, we started talking about the like the Defenders and the Netflix Marvel universe and stuff, and we thought, oh, actually, this would be quite a good video topic to discuss.
Yeah. So.
What we liked, what we didn't like, where we think it's going to go, how we can improve it, blah, 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 blah. Whether we'll get to that or not, I don't know, but we'll give it a go.
Yeah, we'll give it a go.
Yeah.
So, we're starting off with Daredevil Season 1, which was...
Start from the beginning, makes sense.
Is basically perfect from what I would have wanted from a Daredevil series.
Yeah, if you compare it to the movies, and again, like we said, we do like the movie, but it didn't, I suppose it didn't really do justice to the sort of seriousness of the character. In a way, it was very. I would say it was very cheesy. It was very Hollywoodized, but then obviously it would be.
It's like. The thing is, Ben Affleck was basically a near enough perfect Matt Murdock for the time.
Yeah.
Now.
Prototype.
He was.
Batman.
Yeah. It's kind of it works really well, and obviously where we are now in the modern world, being a little bit later on, you do want a slightly different kind of Daredevil, which is what you get from the Netflix show. Yeah,
and I think they have found a way to get away with that and make it gritty, make it dark, but true to the comics. Probably more true to the comics than the movies.
Yeah,
could be, I suppose. In terms of that gritty
Netflix has this great advantage that has not been utilised with any other Marvel TV show, and it should have been used.
Yeah,
is that you have 10 episodes. Everything they've done so far has been
10, 13, you know, and thereabouts. Yeah, it's a decent length.
So you've got plenty of time to take one main bad guy, develop them, improve them, and grow them to the point where it's like, you know what, that is your bad guy. That is what they do, and that is why they
do it to a point where not only do you want them to take them down, you really, really want him to take them down, because they love
to hate them.
Exactly, and that's exactly how it should work.
Daredevil Season 1 is Kingpin. Jessica Jones Season 1, Purple Man.
Okay, Kilgrave.
Daredevil season 2 is Punisher / Elektra.
Yeah, although
Or the
they
Hand.
kind of sort of blur the lines of villainy with that, because I suppose that's where people may find fault in season 2, which is we've moved very quickly onto that.
We'll move on to that.
We're going back and forth. You know what we're like.
So Luke Cage had the fucking Serpent Society.
He had Cottonmouth.
Cottonmouth.
And then he had Diamondback.
Diamondback.
They took a risk because it was like, for most of the season you think, oh yeah, Cottonmouth. And then, spoiler alert, big spoiler alert, they kill him off.
Yeah.
Halfway through the season.
Obviously, he's dead. And
that's it. And then Diamondback takes over. And then it's kind of like, Diamondback was a cool idea, but I don't know, I suppose he was just sort of on the fringe and wasn't really built up that well, and he kind of came off a bit cheesy at the end. But I mean, it was an interesting take on how you can build up to a villain and how they can change like that.
Exactly.
Something like that. Yeah.
So then you had Iron Fist, and the main villain for that was the Hand.
It got a lot of hate, and I can understand some of it. The biggest criticism for that was that Danny Rand was played by
an actor who was not quite good enough to do the role.
I do think they did kind of take a gamble with Finn Jones. I don't think he was that bad, but it was wooden in parts. But I think the whole premise of it was decent.
Finn Jones isn't bad in the TV show.
No,
but he is the weakest part.
Yeah, which I think is the frustrating part about it. It's not a bad TV show.
Yeah.
It's just, I think maybe people's expectations were, if it's not as good as Daredevil season 1, then it's terrible.
Yeah.
And okay, it definitely wasn't as good as Daredevil season 1. Don't get me wrong, but it's a case of when you set the bar so high, it's difficult to follow it, and I think that's what they've had. That's the problem they've had ever since.
Daredevil season 1 was so good. Yeah. It's like everything else has been okay, but even then.
And that's not to say, oh well, we shouldn't try and raise the bar, but for whatever reason, for several reasons, it hasn't quite worked out.
Yeah.
And I think Daredevil was such a surprise to everyone. People weren't expecting it to be as good as it was. No. I certainly wasn't.
No, neither was I.
You know what I mean? I just thought, oh, okay, Daredevil. Well, it was a decent sort of cheesy movie.
Yeah.
And the comics, okay, they have a lauded history, but then he's not the sort of forefront of one's mind when you think of like a superhero.
No.
Day to day, do you know what I mean?
He's a blind man.
It looks great.
He's a blind man who's got basically like radar in his head.
Yeah.
And it's like, in terms of like a superpower, it's not like the best superpower really to have. But by the same token, he's actually really, really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have superpowers in the sense that, Superman or Hulk or Spider-Man does, but he uses he's been enhanced somewhat. To the point where he has to use all these other senses, and he happens to be a skilled martial arts fighter. It's a unique skill to possess, to be considered to be a superhero amongst all the other ones that have got these godly, otherworldly powers. Do you know what I mean?
Then after Iron Fist was Defenders, then we get Jessica Jones season 2.
Yeah.
Now, Defenders had Sigourney Weaver, whatever her character's name was, I can't remember that anymore. She was the head of the Hand.
Preparation! Research! No, we don't need that. You all know what we're talking about.
Yeah. And then
she was basically like one of the... There was like 4 or 5 fingers of the hand.
There's 5 fingers of the hand. So
right.
5 main people.
Yeah, and she was like basically the leader.
Yeah, and she's the leader of them.
And then they ended up fucking her over. Spoiler alert. Again, another big risk. They basically had Elektra kill her off maybe not halfway through, but it was considerably before the end. I think they needed more episodes in that. It did feel a little bit rushed towards the end.
That one needed to have 5 more.
Because it was only 8 episodes, wasn't it? And all the other.
No, that one was 10 as well. But that could have been.
Was it 10?
That should
have been only 8.
It should have been 15.
Well, I'm thinking like at least 13, 12, 13.
12 to 13. It needed a bit longer to make the story percolate and kind of be better.
Yeah, I think the gathering of the Defenders themselves. If you've had maybe say 1 episode on each of them, just to establish what's going on with them at that time, how they all meet up, and then you develop their relationships with each other. Yeah. They did a decent job of it. But I think, considering they were really only been going as in terms of like the Netflix television universe for Marvel, they'd only been going 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not really that much time compared to obviously the cinematic universe, which had fucking 10 years of build-up. I'd like to see another Defenders season, now that they've established them, and obviously once you've got Daredevil season 3 out of the way, which should be pretty interesting considering where you know what happened to Matt Murdock at the end of the Defenders. Yeah. We shall see. What do you think about this whole sort of conflict about the Defenders or the Netflix heroes not being included in the cinematic universe? Do you think it's something that should happen, or are they right to sort of stay separate, or are there laws against one or the other? Do you think it should be consistent?
I think they should be in the cinematic universe, but I understand why they're not. The problem is, in terms of how legal contracts work when it comes to a lot of this stuff, is it's difficult. It's difficult to get separate companies to agree to cross these things over. I mean, the only reason why the Hulk is in the Avengers at all is because basically Disney have Universal by the balls.
Yeah, well, they tend to have everyone by the balls now, don't they?
Disney's trying to buy Sony so they can get Spider-Man back, and that's a ridiculous amount of money to spend just for one character, but it's one of the things that they've been working on.
I mean, they're working towards a monopolisation of everything. I mean, have they? I don't know. Again, research. Pardon me. Have they actually bought? They've bought Fox and got the rights to everything that they have now.
They've bought Fox. Right. They've got the rights to that, but they're waiting for the paperwork to clear and be ratified. Because it's big mergers like that have to go through Congress or something in America. Because apparently it's because of the whole monopoly
red tape bullshit.
Yeah. So it's you're looking at that, but by the same token, it's if when they've got that, that's when they can really kick off Phase 4. Because if they get all that, you've got Galactus, you've got Doctor Doom, you've got
Dormammu.
Well, they've already got Dormammu.
Well, they have, but I mean this is a chance for them to really sort of establish him as a big time player in the villain role.
Some of the best villains that Marvel has came from the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, ironically.
Really good thing to use the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, exactly.
But
we'll see. We don't know, but they might get them back. I mean, the only good thing that come out of Disney's world domination is that if someone actually gives a shit about Fantastic Four, or they just let it die, or as we were talking about, which links back to our original topic, they make the Fantastic Four into a Netflix show or an Amazon show or whatever, or something along that format. I think they're maybe better suited to that kind of format.
My big problem with the Marvel TV shows and the movies as a whole thing is that they don't cross over. Now, if you've got a whole thing,
well, they're mentioned in passing, they're mentioned in the TV universe, but they don't really mention them in the for example, you don't hear Tony Stark saying, "Oh yeah, there's some guy called the Devil of Hell's Kitchen. We don't need to worry about him." You know, they don't mention the TV aspects, but then maybe that's contractual. I don't know. But then they're still going on about in the TV show, the big green guy or the guy with the hammer. Do you know what I mean? They have to make that sort of loose connection.
Yeah, that's it. It's kind of there's so much you could do if you did link them.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's I know you probably couldn't get Robert Downey Jr. to appear in an episode of Daredevil because of just cost. It just probably.
Oh yeah, I mean it would be like the entire season's budget just for him.
I can't imagine he'd say no if it was look, we're filming here. They want to do a scene for the Netflix TV show.
It's a few extra quid for you, and it really helps out.
You're already here.
Yeah.
You already got your food and board paid for.
Yeah.
Just chucking you across the road.
Yeah, maybe 10 lines maximum. Fuck it, go, give it a go.
But they need to do stuff like that because the problem is that at this moment is the first series of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right?
Yeah.
Had several references to it had
the Ultron references quite a bit, didn't it?
It had a lot of Ultron references. It had a lot of Iron Man 3 references.
Yeah.
Thor 2 references.
Yeah.
And then the last 3 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s first series were basically coinciding with Captain America Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
As the movie was happening, this was happening for them.
Yeah.
And it's okay, that's cool. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, that said, if you flip it over a little bit, it's what happened from the TV show that affected the Marvel Universe?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's it'd be nice to have that continuity, reversed, if that makes sense. They only really keep mentioning the event, aka what happened in the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
And they still only keep referencing that. There's no really sort of mention of the Sokovia files and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
They only really keep going back to the event. So I don't know whether maybe it was they had an agreement up until then, and then once the sequential movies came out, it was maybe they didn't have rights to it, or so, I don't know. I don't really know the ins and outs of it
but this is
too much, to be honest. Unfortunately,
but then that's the thing. It's kind of
comment section.
But this is it. This is the thing. It's kind of like, you know what? You've got like, you know, would it really be the worst thing in the world? It's like, you know what? Here's an example. When Civil War came out as a movie, they did a whole thing on that in terms of the TV show for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Because it's like the whole Sokovia Accords in the movie is this big, thick old documents like that thick. And in the movie, you only see like the first 3 or 4 pages in reference to that. It's like, all superheroes have to sign up. And once they've signed up, they work for the UN.
Yeah, they're under jurisdiction. Yeah.
And that's the basic premise of like the disagreement for them. Now, in the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, they go in, they start looking through the whole rest of the document, basically saying about, you know, what's legal, what's right, making a whole thing. Yeah,
so they make it more of a procedural thing.
It makes it more of a whole issue.
Which makes it more sort of on a sort of human level.
Yeah.
How this would affect like day-to-day life and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly.
And that's good, because it's kind of like they were doing that with it, but then it's kind of like, at that point you had established Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You were in like season 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at that point.
Yeah.
But you didn't put anything from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. into
the movies, yeah, exactly.
Now, I'm not expecting like, you know, whole like, you know, big scenes of all the characters from a particular show.
Just little tidbits, little Easter eggs, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Little things, it's kind of like things that you can brush off and not have to think about.
Yeah, but they're a nice nod, it's like, we acknowledge you acknowledge us, we're going to acknowledge you.
Because it's like, the only things I can think of so far are such tenuous little references. It's like characters that were effectively, you know, big bads in the TV shows, particularly Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., turning up in the movies to be background characters or characters that may well get a line or two, but it's basically ignored.
I'm going to make oh no, I won't. I was going to say that reminded me of making like a Doctor Who / Torchwood comparison, but I won't, because this isn't what this is about for once.
No, we'll do one of those soon.
We'll do one of those soon, definitely. Yeah. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like, because there's some almost like, okay, not like on a universal scale with the TV shows, because that's the whole point. That it's ground level heroism, ground level villainy, etc.
People on the street,
Yeah, but like Kilgrave, for example, is probably the nearest to that kind of, not supernatural, but he has genuine powers that could affect everyone. And you think maybe they could have acknowledged that somehow in the movies, because all the other villains are more sort of gangster orientated, sort of drug lords, etc., or like military grade. But then that sort of comes back to like Captain America and stuff. So like the Punisher, for example, there's no way, because especially in Daredevil season 2, he kills a fuckload of people, and you think that would that would send ripples into, you know, Stark Tower, for example, going, oh, there's this crazy guy on the loose who's like, okay, he's killing people that kind of deserve to be killed, but maybe we should keep an eye on him. Do you know what I mean? Or like, even little like words of dialogue, like, oh yeah, well, like Frank Castle, do you know what I mean? Just little acknowledgements.
You could have like just like a news report on the TV in the background. It's like, you know, random news reporter saying, and Frank Castle is still at large.
Yeah, and then you could have one of them, or you could, exactly, and that's when you go to like, I don't know, Stark or someone like that, going, well, I better keep an eye on that guy. Do you know what? Something just little, something subtle like that. Do you know what I mean?
You don't even have to go that far with it. You could just be like, and walk up into another room. Next scene.
Just like.
But it's like, continue the scene with something else. You know, they need to do something. Allegedly, if you believe the rumours, all the people from the Defenders movies have signed in their contracts. It does say that they could appear in Infinity War.
That's what I was thinking. So maybe it will come together like that.
They don't have to be used. The Russo brothers guys can pick or choose who they want to use, if any of them.
Yeah.
If they genuinely say, well, there's no point putting in, say, Luke Cage because of X reason.
Yeah.
Or there's no point putting in Daredevil.
I think if they're going to include one of them, it will be Daredevil, because he is the main man.
He's the most popular out of all.
Exactly. So. Not saying not a detriment against the other characters, but let's face it, he is the one. Shall we say?
He is Marvel Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
He is Marvel Batman.
Whoa! Don't let Stan Lee hear you say that. Well, he never will. But Marvel Batman.
Yeah.
What a combination!
I have seen the picture. ages ago at
Yeah.
a fan convention. They basically asked Stan Lee, it's like, could you reimagine like the main DC Justice League as if you created them?
Oh wow, really?
And he basically just did these little sketches of them, and Batman was basically was the man Bat.
It was the Man Bat, right? Yeah, I suppose that is it. In the Marvel universe, that would make more sense. Yeah.
He that's what he was. It's like Bruce Wayne is the man Bat.
Yeah,
but
so he's like a man. He's a bat disguised as a man, sort of thing.
Yeah. He is Batman, but he turns into he's a man.
He actually legitimately turns into a giant bat.
Yeah, he turns into a giant Batman, which is great.
A character like Wonder Woman, for me, feels more of a Marvel character, and the same with Superman. They both feel more like Marvel characters to me than DC, just because they're obviously otherworldly and strange and a bit cool.
Yeah.
Not saying that like DC isn't cool. Like obviously Batman is my favourite superhero, but when it comes to DC, he's probably my only favourite superhero.
Yeah, it's
Superman's alright, but
it's-
the majority of them are in Marvel. Not saying I hate either one or the other, but you know what I mean.
I will get this thing. The Flash has very quickly risen in the ranks of characters that I like from DC. I never used to.
Because of the TV show.
Yeah, because it's kind of like.
I need to watch more of that actually.
It's-
Although according to Full Killer 99, it's like the worst show ever. I'm quite interested to see why, but I will actually make my mind up and watch it.
I've been watching it. It's that Series 4 has not been brilliant. It's like it's really, really depressing though, because the thing is they
all turned out that way in the end, don't they?
they've got a really good bad guy with a really good like scheme.
Yeah.
And I won't go too much into it because it's still ongoing. If you haven't finished, you haven't finished it.
Yeah, fair enough. In that respect, we won't do spoilers.
But
maybe
it's
because I
like-
don't know, but he knows. But yeah, anyway.
But the thing is, it's kind of. But some of the storytelling, it's just like it's like here is the greatest story ever told, given to a child who writes it with crayons, and it's like, seriously, is that what you're going to do with it? It's like, it's like, just come on, seriously.
A bit like the prequels. Or The Last Jedi. Last Jedi is also another venture we will be getting into very soon. We haven't done one. Well, we intended to do a review when the actual film came out.
It was too depressing.
It was too A, it was too depressing. B, I was off having babies, and he's married, so he's always fucking busy.
I'm so under the thumb. I don't see daylight.
Yeah, absolutely. But now that it's coming out, it's already out on Blu-ray now, isn't it? Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do one. We'll definitely do a video on that as well.
It's like the first series of The Flash was basically after like episode 9 it gets good. The first 9 episodes you can take or leave.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to watch the first 9 episodes because characters from those episodes reoccur.
Right. Yeah. So there's a continuity there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get series 2, which is kind of a bit of a rehash of the first series. You don't really need to watch it, but there's a few nice twists in it which kind of work nicely.
I heard there's a lot like speeders seem to be a recurring villain. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it's like for the first 3 seasons, the main bad guy has been someone who is as fast or faster than the Flash.
Right. Okay.
And it's kind of like okay, well it gets a bit boring after that.
Yeah.
The thing is, what I will give though is the first time that the main bad guy is for season 3 is Savitar, that's the name of the Hindu god of speed.
Oh right, so like almost like the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like when you first see this guy, it's basically like he looks like a Gundam mech.
Cool.
But he's like he's like 8 foot tall mech looking motherfucker.
Okay.
And
I can deal with
the Flash is just like, okay.
Whoops. Oh, you're actually a big fucker and you're fast.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And it's kind of like the first fight scene for these guys is insane because it's basically the Flash having the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
Like Savitar's running through fucking hyperspace. It's the hyperspace effect from the original Star Wars movie.
Oh, brilliant.
And it's just like he's got a Flash by the neck and he's just running, and it's like
I'm going to push you out of existence.
Skids to a stop, throws him into into a building, runs over, grabs him back into fucking hyperspace.
Yeah.
Other side of the planet into a fucking tree.
Ping pong.
Grabs him by the neck again. Off he goes. It's like, and it's like okay, yeah, it's all CG. It's okay. It's an animator's wet dream, but it's like it's like what?
It's possible. Yeah, it does the job.
It's like this is the first time I've seen someone go from fucking hyperspace.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, I know for those who've seen the TV show, it's the Speed Force they're running through. I'm being a bit
technicalities.
it looks like the fucking hyperspace effect from the
Yeah.
original
And
Star
again,
Wars movie.
If it's not Doctor Who, we always refer back to Star Wars.
Yes.
That's the way it's all of the rings.
Yeah, it's kind of, you can tell me whatever you want to tell me about it, I don't care. Yeah. And then it's like, now you've got, it's like, the bad guy for season 4 is basically a super genius.
Okay.
He's got super intelligence. He's like, we don't know what his final plan is yet. But his plan up to this point was basically, he created 12 people with superpowers from a random accident.
One of whom being Barry Allen, I'm guessing?
No. This is like 12 brand new like super cat.
Oh right, and they're going to be his army or whatever.
Well, no, he's basically been killing them and stealing their powers. Which
naughty boy.
And the thing is, they've got a fairly random set of powers as it stands. Now, some of them are quite useful. Like one of them can control technology. One of them can like animate any object that has a physical form. So like. A bit
like Odo from Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. She can control. If it's a statue of, like, say, a tiger, she can control it. If it's a statue of a person, she can control it. Yeah. If it's just a brick, she can't.
Yeah, it's not like an animate object.
Yeah. There's one character who has like control over luck.
You know? Oh, okay, right.
And it's kind of like the thing is, there's like 12 of them.
Yeah.
And he is now
almost like mutants.
Yeah. And this bad guy has basically stolen all of their powers at this point. And it's like, what is your end game with this collection of powers?
So he's like the Cell of like the Flash universe, yeah.
He's got 12 powers on top of his super intelligence.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Must be going to do.
You've got like
a moustache.
Yeah, you've got like 4 episodes left. And it's
so
like
gonna really rush through.
Yeah. And it's like your plan is enlightenment. That's all they refer to it as, enlightenment.
So he basically wants everyone in the universe to think the way he does.
Probably. It's going to be...
Like the universal mind from Charlotte, from Doctor Who. Damn it, I did it! I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
Look, we all know we're going back to Doctor Who in 5 minutes anyway, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Yeah.
To summarise...
Marvel Netflix
is...
We got so off topic with
we always do. But I'll tell you what, okay, right.
Marvel Netflix is good. I would say Daredevil Series 1, definitely. Jessica Jones Series 1, definitely. Daredevil Series 2, definitely.
Luke Cage. We'll go into more depth of the actual series. This is more like an overview, so we'll go into the. We'll do like, if you want us to, we'll do like a review of each season of each character, of each defender, shall we say? Yeah. And we'll do a bit more in depth that way. Luke
Cage, hit and miss at times.
My big problem with Luke Cage, and this is very briefly, is that while I like him as a character, I like the way he's acted, etc. I think it's hard to get behind, and similarly to the Hulk in this respect, it's hard to get behind a character or feel any tension for a character who's basically indestructible. Even when, spoiler alert, again in case you haven't seen it, when they use the, I can't even remember, it's been so long since I've seen it, but they use these, Diamondback forges these bullets which are supposed to kill anyone with bulletproof skin, and that still doesn't kill him. Yeah. So it's like, he even gets better from that. So it's like, I don't really feel much tension, but it was alright. It was decent. It was okay. It was passable.
The thing is, it's kind of like, the sad thing is, it's like if they're taking inspiration from the comics, it's kind of like, well, there is, what is it called? I think it's called Secret. It's one of the Secret Wars comics where it's not like the full-on Secret War where it's like everyone's
against each other.
It's like Nick Fury gets like a select group of like 6 heroes and go and do like a commando raid in that area, and Luke Cage is one of them, and as revenge they blow up his house. And the thing is, the bomb itself doesn't hurt him, but it's like the blunt force trauma of being thrown around his house by the explosion's blast itself messes up all his internal organs. So it's like, and the thing is, the doctors can't help him because they can't cut into his skin. Yeah,
which is kind of what they alluded to in the actual. Well, was it? I think it was in Jessica Jones actually when they alluded to that with the shotgun shell or whatever. Which is fine, but if you know that he's going to be fine, then it's a bit like.
This is it. And the thing
I don't really care.
It's in the comics.
It was okay.
In the comics, you've got this great image of him like unconscious, lying in a hospital bed with like 7 tubes in his mouth, because that's the only way the doctors can get stuff in there to help.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? That's good.
Yeah.
It's kind of, but the thing is, the point is, there are ways and means of making him He's not like Superman where he's basically impervious to everything. You can make him vulnerable. You just got to be clever about what you do.
Yeah, exactly. They probably haven't been that clever about how to do that.
No.
Yet.
And when it comes to Iron Fist
gets a bad rap, and it's cheesy as hell.
It kind of deserves some of it, but not all of it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's a terrible show. I think it's all about the hand, etc. But I think that fits his.
It fits his character.
His modus operandi, etc. Yeah. And I think we should be a bit more open-minded with it for now. I look forward to more.